Oh my goodness, finally a good basketball game. Hey, we were just talking about it in the comments last night, y'all, weren't we? We were saying like, man, these playoffs just haven't been all that entertaining or whatever. Well, that game was absolutely nuts. That game was crazy. I was ready at halftime to come back to you guys and start off this video and be like, another one of these games that weren't very fun, but it always felt like the Mavs were just like teetering on things. And we'll talk about some of the things that they didn't do so well in this game that I would have liked to have seen, but like it always just felt like they were like sticking around or whatever. And man, what an absolute comeback. First of all the credit in the world to Dallas advancing to the Western Conference Finals. That's awesome. Shout out the Oklahoma City Thunder. Ahead of schedule is the best way to put this. These young Thundercats, they're going to be tough for a while, man. They're going to be tough for a while. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is amazing. All these other young dudes, amazing. Like, the maturity that it takes to even get this far with this group is absolutely impressive. So, all the credit in the world to them. Let's talk about this game real quick. And not even talking like strategy or anything first. Can we just have like an honest conversation with refereeing in the NBA right now? I feel like they have gotten worse. And I don't like to criticize refs because it's very, very complicated to do. I couldn't do it. It's incredibly hard to do. But I feel like since the challenge has become more prevalent, they are missing more and more simple calls that need to actually get challenged because like it's such an egregious call more than ever. Like how many times now is the ball, they just not seeing who the ball goes out of bounds on, and then they got to challenge it or something. And I'm like, the challenge is supposed to be there for these like real difficult calls. And I feel like it's always like the little stupid ones that we have to review during the games. And I don't personally love the challenge or whatever. Like it feels a little clunky to me. I'm not saying it can't fit. I'm just saying the way it fits right now doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But like, I don't know. It's bothering me, some of the refs calling. And then speaking of refereeing, let's talk about Luka Doncic, man. Just shut up. Just shut up, Luka. I love Luka so much. I know a lot of the training staff with Dallas, they all love Luka. From everything they've told me, he's the best. He just needs to stop talking, man. I thought Richard Jefferson said it really well during this game. He's like, he wasted half a timeout at one point chatting it up with Tony Brothers, and it sure felt like Tony Brothers was trying to give it to Dallas, man. Like he was really trying to be like, nope, you guys don't get this call now. Nope, you guys don't get this call. Like this little off ball like foul's gonna happen to you guys now. And I'm just like, whoa, what is going on right now? What are some of these calls? Like, sorry, OKC fans, it felt like Dallas was just getting kind of shafted the whole night with refereeing. And it's because like Luka wouldn't shut up. Like one MVP candidate was just shutting up and playing basketball, and the other one wasn't. If we can talk about some actual basketball, though, the Thunder got out early because they were like, well, we're having a three-point problem. How can we fix that? We'll start hitting the three-pointers. And man, they hit every single one in that first half. Absolutely nuts. Just doing their drive and kick. That didn't change. This time the three-point shots were falling, right? And Isaiah Joe was doing a little bit of creation as well, which was kind of cool. Normally you don't see him like really go and try to create a shot to get a three-pointer, and he was doing some of that. So shout out Isaiah Joe in this one. Chet Holmgren played really, really good off-ball basketball, and I feel like that's where he's going to succeed, man. Like, I famously, when I talk with my NBA scout friends, they all give me shit because I said I don't think Chet Holmgren's going to be all that great. Like I just really don't. So they give me a lot of shit for that. They never give me credit for saying that Gigi Jackson was going to be a good player. But you know what? It's whatever. And you know, all of us make mistakes and we we say things that don't end up being true. You can't predict everything, right? But I don't think Chet Holmgren is gonna be like a star in this league. I think he's going to be a very good player now, but like I think some of the things you saw from him tonight are kind of going to be his thing, like a floor spacing big that can play good like defense off ball, right? But he's like also like an elite cutter, because that's not something that centers can often do, is be an elite cutter, but he is coordinated enough to do that. So I'll just be curious to kind of see where his development takes him in that one. Obviously Jalen Williams looks like a future all-star. Like Shai Gilgeous, just absolutely phenomenal. I'm kind of bummed that they kind of relegated Josh Giddey like that far down in the bench. Like I think Josh Giddey's too good of a basketball player to not have on the court. Just my opinion. Like I feel like you just got to find a way to play through it. Looking at Lou Dort, obviously just struggled with fouls the whole night. It's a whole thing, right? And the Thunder just looked like they kind of got overwhelmed when the Mavericks were storming back. They just looked like they were getting nervous. I thought Jalen Williams kept his composure pretty good, but otherwise, like, I don't know. I don't know. Like it looked like the moment got too big for them and they're young. Like they're going to learn from this and they're going to come back next year ready for vengeance. This game though, Derrick Jones Jr. Why does nobody keep guarding this guy? We just talked about it in the last video. I'm like, this guy's just been insane. Like he was absolutely insane tonight and he just hit like every shot it seemed last night. His on-ball defense was phenomenal. I'm so impressed with how Derrick Jones Jr. was, and he finally realized like, okay, I can just go into Chet and he's just gonna get moved. Like it's just that simple. I weigh more than him, so I'm gonna knock him over. And that's something that like Derek Lively figured out in this game too. And I'm gonna criticize the Dallas Bigs for a second. Just box him out. Just box him out. Why are we trying to jump up with him? Like, that's a lot harder than just putting your ass into someone and moving them out of the way. Like, I could probably box out Chet Holmgren. Like, well, I'm losing a lot of weight right now because my trainer's having me cut on things right now. But no, as of right now, I still probably weigh more than Chet Holmgren. Like, and I'm 6'5", right? So it shouldn't be the case, but it is. He's thin, right? And so you got a guy like a Derek Lively or Daniel Gafford, just get low and get into him. He's going to jump over and he's going to draw a foul. It's just something that was really bugging me throughout the game that I wanted to talk about. I'm so glad that we actually get to talk some like actual basketball because this game was interesting. Something the Mavericks didn't do very well. I didn't like how Luka Doncic was so ball dominant at the beginning. You know, I made a video some months ago talking about like Luka Doncic's play style, right? And I got a lot of criticism for it, for people being like, you don't watch basketball, this is how you do it, they win games with this, they do this. And it's like, yeah, like, I understand what you guys are saying. I'm like, yes, they do win games with it. It makes some sense. Like, Luka Doncic is very good. I worry that if they don't prioritize getting, like, Kyrie Irving started earlier, PJ Washington started earlier, that they're not going to win games against the better teams. Like, they're still going to have to play a Denver or Minnesota, which I just believe are better teams than OKC at the end of the day. I do. And I feel like as a coach, like, you need to find a way to, like, let Kyrie start possessions, right? Especially if, like, Luka's hurt or whatever, right? Like, he keeps saying he is. Like let's let Kyrie start some possessions, right? Like, let's get PJ Washington involved. Let's run some plays from all this Luka isolation that we just keep going back to. I don't know if it can win you the whole thing. I don't know. Like, mathematically, Dallas is better when they do it, but it just, I worry about it, right? Because I feel like it's too hard to get the other players going, man. I just don't know. It didn't feel like Josh Green was getting a ton of like burn tonight or anything. I really like the Jaden Hardy minutes when he gets in. I think it's really, really interesting. I just like the new dynamic of getting like a really quick point guard in that can kind of get a little low and be a little muscly and be really aggressive while he's in there. I really like it. Kind of surprised Tim Hardaway Jr. didn't get some more minutes, but I guess with Derrick Jones playing as good as he did, and it's just what's going to happen. But yeah, no, obviously Luka is going to have to work on some maturity and everything. That's a thing as always for him, right? But as far as just like basketball itself goes, I mean, you guys can see the numbers on here. It's pretty crazy what he was able to put up, the level of efficiency, and like, I don't know, man. He was just creating everything at the end there. If we could talk about like the end of the game, just really quick, just them going back and forth between like Luka, Kyrie, and like Shea, just hitting like every shot and just being so calm, cool, and collected. Like he's like, bro, I can do this all day. Like you're gonna have to figure something else out because I'm gonna keep hitting these shots. Absolutely crazy. If we can talk about like the PJ Washington foul or whatever from 3, I thought it was a foul. Like when I first saw the replay and they were saying like, oh well, no, he hit ball first. I'm like, yeah, but he hadn't like actually like started to shoot really yet. He kind of just jumped and then he pushed it out, and that's why I actually didn't know the ruling on that, because I was like, oh yeah, he did hit the ball first, but I was like, he didn't technically start the shooting motion and then he dragged his hand across the arm. So I was like, I'm very curious to see what they call here, but my intuition was right, that they were like, well, no, he hadn't really like started to really shoot yet, because as soon as he hit the ball, then he brought it back and tried to throw it up. So I thought that was a fine call. I don't want to hear Thunder fans complaining about calls though, because the Mavericks got all the calls, or the Thunder got like all the calls tonight. Like they got so many calls, and I don't have a horse in this race whatsoever. That's just me observing the game and watching it. But no, we'll do an ideal off season for the Thunder. I'm gonna do it Monday. I've been recording so many videos at this point and doing so much stuff on Twitch. If you guys haven't been watching me on Twitch, go on there. I've hit affiliate for that, so that's pretty cool. We don't really do basketball content on there. That's just other separate content. I kind of have like a whole separate fan base going on there. But anyway, ideal offseason for the Thunder coming Monday. that's going to be a weird one to do, isn't it? Like, what do we do with this team? I don't know. Like, it's a good group. Like, there's a part of me that says just wait for them to get older and wiser and smarter. I'm sure there's a couple guys, like I think Isaiah Joe needs a contract maybe, or somebody else, and man, I'd keep Isaiah Joe on this team for sure. But anyway, that's for next time. Dallas gets to play the waiting game now for Game 7 coming tomorrow. Very exciting. 2 Game 7s tomorrow, man. Oh, that's going to be some crazy basketball. But alrighty, that's it for now. See you guys later. Bye.